Hey guys, this is Hamon, and welcome back to Bytesize, the show where I review games that I've taken interest in. They have to be old, they have to be new, they just have to be something I'm interested in. And today I'm going to be talking about Atlyss. And before I even go on to this, I need to make this caveat to the review. To explain, the game is out on early access on Steam, and whatever other platform has taken it in. So please take what I say with a slight grain of salt, because given that it's in early access, it is likely that they will make changes to the game that can alter what I have perceived in my playthrough of it currently. And with that said, the game's good. The story of the game, I'm not entirely sure of it. I'm sure, like I said, since it's in early access, I'm sure in the future they'll come up with a little cutscene that explains why we're summoned and all that. Because you're a character that has been, I guess, summoned or revived or some sort of magic by the mystic guardian Angela, or Angelina, whichever it is, to help in defeating the evil of the world. And I will say, everything about it is pretty good. Pretty solid. I do have some things about it, but again, early access, so I can't really say that it's stuck like that. First off, to get into graphics, I love the old retro style approach to it. It makes it feel like it is a old Nintendo game or early era PlayStation/PlayStation 2 game. I enjoyed the whole thing, and I love the fact that given that there's hidden treasures in the map of the neutral area, I believe, that you can explore and get possible costume stuff or other things in there, if you've already had a character that found that stuff anyway. I like it, and again, things are probably going to change, maybe even the designs of some of the characters and all that. But which brings me to the thing that I have an issue with. It's not necessarily in the design of the place or the backgrounds or the designs of the enemies or anything. I have an issue with the custom creator. Nothing massive or anything. I'm just thinking there could be more options. I understand it. It's still in early access. I get that it's still that they're throwing it out there right now, testing the water, see who plays it and all that, who has a real interest in the game and all that. So I don't fully blame it or anything. I just feel like there could have been more, at least one or two more options in, say, the species that you could become, or the hairstyles, the horns, the tail even, because I loved what I was able to go do with the imp and the kobold that I was able to build. I'm saying kobold even though I'm pretty sure it's called something else, but that's what I'm getting, because they're short little dragon looking creatures compared to Angela and the others. You also get to choose a rabbit, I think a dog character, or a bird. You have all those options, and their sliders are very interesting, because you can choose between a male and female, of course, but then you can also choose the very interesting portions of the characters. So keep that in mind when you're designing your character, which will likely become your OC at some point, for those of you that are interested in that. But it is very interesting all in all, and I love it for that. I love the fact that you can change the color of everything of your character. You can even make them completely black if you want, apparently. Make them like a little spooky imp or something like that. But I just love it all. I love the whole thing. Again, I just wish there was more options. So that's really my only hang up about it. Nothing serious. Nothing that could easily be done with one major update where they're like, oh, we have a new character for you guys to pick from, or we have a new options for the character creation thing, for the hairs and tails and all that. I know that's not a big thing that really needs to be worried about, but that's just my only hang up with it in general. And so to get into the mechanics of the game, after you've made your character, you have options of what weapons you use. You have the fast weapons like the sword and the katars. You have the mid-range, the ranged weapons, which is the bow and the spells wand. And then you have the heavy weapons. So you have a bell and the hammer. Just heavy weapons in general. Each of these weapons have various advantages and disadvantages. Fast weapons are very fast, of course, but they're not that powerful in a sense. you're gonna quickly take an enemy down, but it's not like you're gonna be dealing. You'll have to do like massive amounts of damage in order to do that at one go. Ranged weapons, obviously, you get to hit the enemies at a long distance, but you really need to be wary of how far they are, because they can run up to you, especially some enemies that are, their whole thing is literally to charge at you, so you must be ready to switch weapons, which, by the way, I'll explain in a bit after I explain the heavy. The heavy weapons, they're very powerful, but very slow. That is literally the caveat of most heavy weapons, so bear with that in mind. In this game, you actually have a choice of 2 weapons to go through. You can choose to have a sword in one thing, and then a hammer in the other, a bow in one, guitars in another, bell. You know, you don't have to stick with one weapon. You can actually switch between 2 weapons in this one, and it just makes your playstyle a whole lot different. For an example, I have an imp character that has a sword as well as a wand right now. So I have the fast attack as well as magic attacks. But then I have a kobold character that has a hammer and lance. Oh, that's right. That's a weapon. I can't believe I forgot that one. So you have like the weapon that can poke things at a range, while then you have the heavy weapon that does a massive amount of damage and can even, you know, stun the enemies if done right. Just an interesting, different gameplay styles and all that. And it goes even into your classes, because there are 3 classes to pick from. You could be a mage through Angelina, or Angela, again, I'm not sure. You could be a fighter through the head of the barracks, don't know his name, can't pick it up at the top of my head, it'll probably be in the editing stage. And then you have the shopkeep, which I believe she'll be the one that gives you the rogue class. Like, not entirely sure. I just know that like they're the 3 biggest characters, and they're the ones that give you the missions and all that. So I'm assuming she's the one that gives you the rogue class one. Yeah, that's generally it for the most part. Like, there are other things, like the fact that you can enchant weapons in the other in another little shop that's next to the shopkeeper's place, and that there's a recall spell that allows you to head back to the neutral space whenever you feel like it. You know, just like in League of Legends, it takes a little bit of time in order to cast it, so you could be interrupted by either movement or by an enemy hitting you, that kind of thing. And yeah, honestly, this game is excellent. I highly recommend it. With the caveat that I said, I believe earlier in the review, that this is early access, and I did mention it a couple times, that there's likely going to be changes throughout this. So what I'm saying right now might be altered in the future, because they might change certain weapon skills, certain skill stats, certain, you know, all the stuff that I've been talking about might change slightly or drastically in the future. Like, they might make it that hammers do more damage and are faster, or they might do something like bows shoot further than spells, or vice versa. Just different things can happen in the future. I mean, you'd probably understand it by that if you're hearing this. Like, you already understand that. I'm just saying this for those that don't understand, possibly. It's a good game. I highly recommend it. And with that said, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Bytesize. If you did, please leave a like, favorite, and subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Check out my social medias if you want to see more stuff, whether it's my art or my videos or anything else you might take interest in. Either way, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. Bye!